Hello, dear friends. Welcome to the show, Jack Chow on East West with G&E TV. We try at this show not to get involved too much with international politics. Well, sometimes when international politics gets to a point or some point that the people are talking about. I mean, when I say people, I'm saying that people from all backgrounds, from all corners of this global earth is talking about. We have to get involved a little bit to touch base with the problem itself. So needless to say, you probably can guess we're talking about the Malaysian airplane that was gunned down about a week and a half ago. A few days ago, as a matter of fact. So joining me in the discussion is my good friend, Ken Hemming. The reason I get him here is that he is very good at international politics, with his study being done so profoundly. He will probably give us some highlight about the problem, about the incident, plus he and I were going to discuss about it. And by the way, if you have opinions to express, you may send it to tellmydj@gmail.com. We'll see if we can get your opinion aired. So, once again, Ken, welcome to the show.
Thank you for letting me be here with your viewers. And as you know, we all have a pain in our heart for the victims of this tragedy, this murder.
My pleasure. Especially when you and I happen to be the cousin by the same mother.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Big cousin here. All right. Good. So, without getting into the news side about what had happened, what do you think about who did it? Well, I'm so straightforward.
Right, that's pretty straightforward. Mm-hmm. I do believe Russia has complicity, whether it was direct involvement, guidance involvement. They do fund the separatists in the Ukraine with weapons and also money. So they pretty much control the situation, and there's a lot of things, as I think you're going to think that their timing's pretty bad on it. I don't think they intended to hit a passenger plane, but they did. And then, however direct it is, I believe they were involved, knew there was going to be some activity that would create a problem in the air.
All right.
But whether Putin knew it or not at the time, I'm not sure. But, they have a very recent history of being aggressive in trying to restore the old Soviet Union by annexing the Crimea in that. By the recent activity, I believe Putin, who's the chairman of Russia, president, wants to slowly expand their sphere of influence and their control over land. And I believe he's also aware that America is a little bit weaker now. We're not taking strong reactionary actions anymore, and the military action's already been taken off the table by our president. And so we're weak, and then you combine it with the interdependence for oil and gas of Europe with Russia, you don't get a full power on sanctions that will damage Russian economy.
All right, so much said.
Yeah, too much.
I can't say, no. I can't say that I disagree with you.
Yeah.
But I have questions.
Yes, sir.
Right. My question is that maybe we should just set aside the big question mark about who did it. Let's talk about the technical from the technical side.
Okay.
Right. When technology is concerned, who are capable and who are not capable?
Yeah.
Can we do that?
Surely.
Do you think the rebels, the pro-Russian rebels, are capable of doing it?
from what I hear, and I've been listening to everything, reading everything I can, that the training necessary to be able to function with those missiles that are capable of downing this plane is maybe almost a 2-year training program. And so it's not a casual thing to learn aim and whatever. And as I'm sure you'll guide us to with the plane moving 500-600 miles an hour, missile moving, and that to make sure they meet each other, is very, very difficult. And it's technology that's a limited number of people are able to do. So,
do you think that it's just a matter of training, enough training, long enough, could make people do it?
Well, you also have a soul that is willing to do it.
No. I'm talking about, still talk about the
separatists?
The technical part.
Yeah. We haven't had this separatist activity in there for any year to 2 years yet. And so I don't think those rebels would be able to do that at this point in time without assistance, guidance.
Sure. Somebody who seemed to know a little bit about this missile shooting thing.
Yes, sir.
Has educated me
Okay.
that it is not something that you punch a button, goes out like that. Right. It's not like you're firing a firecracker, boom, boom, like that.
Yeah.
Not that easy.
That's right.
It has the satellite system, has to have the satellite system, has to have the ground system, and between the satellite and the ground, it has to have a communication system.
Correct. Yeah.
And between the ground to the control tower, or control whatever, it has a communication. And from the control to the rocket launcher itself, it has communication too. All right. And also understanding it was flying at an altitude of 33,000
rather
feet
high. Yes. Yeah, 6 miles.
Which you can see.
Yeah.
And at a speed of 650 miles per hour, which is about 1,000 kilometers per hour.
Pretty fast.
And then to pass by an area 50 kilometers in radiation. So you're really talking about the super high technique. Right. So I don't think training, you put me in a class for 4 years or 5 years of training, I still won't launch a missile.
Well, that's why they're very specialized.
Equipment is called for.
Yeah.
Right. Whole system of defense is called for.
Right.
So do the rebels of the pro-Russians, they have that?
By themselves, they do not have that. Only if it's provided to them, and whether they are individually trained or Russians are assisting in doing all that. There, like when you bring all these technical things into play, which is beautiful, that limits the number of candidates to be the person, the group that did it.
All right.
Very limiting.
Okay. Now you're talking about the rebel is the number one suspicious party, right?
Yes, I think
supported by Russians.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now let's focus on Russia. Why would Russia do that? At a time when Russia being sanctioned by the Western world, and in the meantime, European community is following the sanction to give the sanction started already, which is started already. Why would Russia, at a time that calls them to get closer to try to isolate themselves from the European community?
Right. Well, I think your point's perfect.
Why would they
I think that question, why would Russia also apply to why did they annex the Crimea? I think they can get away with it, because I think they think no one's going to do it. The world's so complex because everybody's dependent on oil and gas.
Let me do your insertion. Sorry for that.
Sir.
To have done something for the purpose of getting away from it, no, it's not a purpose. When in these days' world, when you do something, you want to make a voice, make very vocal. When people hurt, you want to make your point clear.
Correct.
So to hit something without making a point, or without having to make a point, so I don't think anybody would do that.
Well, within the last couple of days before that, there was either 1 or 2 other planes shot down, but not passenger things. One was a fighter or something. And here, I definitely do not believe they intended to kill 285 people or whatever. I think they misidentified the plane.
Who did not intend to?
whoever fired
Okay,
it.
misidentified. That's a very, very good point. Misidentified. So let's go back to our audiences to update a little bit. We are, Ken, Hammy, and me are talking about the Malaysian airline that has been shut down in the territory of Ukraine,
Yes, sir.
close to Russian border, right? Okay, now let's take a very short moment out. When we come back, we exactly talk about your point about mistaken,
Yes, sir.
about being mistaken of the plan, right? So stay with us. We'll be right back.